On Monday Night Football, the 49ers lost to the Green Bay Packers 30-33. And I'm sure this was an excruciating game for 49er fans to watch because the 49ers had the lead late in the game and they blew it. Lost in the final seconds of the game. The final drive was the worst. The final drive was the most inexcusable, frustrating thing to watch if you're a guy rooting for the 49ers. Now, on the final drive, the Green Bay Packers hit 3 plays in a row on the sideline. They caught the ball on the sideline. They were allowed to get out of bounds, stop the clock, and ultimately it led to the game-winning field goal for the Green Bay Packers. The Packers hit big throws down the sideline and were allowed to step out of bounds. That is terrible defense, and I blame the coaching. I blame Robert Saleh. You simply can't allow that. 2 weeks ago, I discussed the idea. I had a lot of people writing in, should the 49ers fire their defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh? The narrative had 2 stories to it. People would ask, should the 49ers fire their defensive coordinator? And should the 49ers switch from a 4-3 back to a 3-4 defense? Instead of having 4 down linemen, should we go back to the way things were 2 years ago before Kyle Shanahan was brought in and have 3 down linemen instead of 2? Should we change the entire defensive scheme? Here's what I said. I said, I would not make a change at defensive coordinator, and I would not make a change to defensive scheme. Here's why I said you shouldn't change the defensive scheme. A 4-3 and a 3-4 defense require completely different players, different defensive linemen, different linebackers, different body types, a complete change in philosophy. You're a year and a half into the 4-3. If you were a guy, what you wouldn't do, if you wouldn't swim halfway across a lake and then just turn around immediately and go back. It's a waste of time. Why'd you even begin the journey if you were going to give up halfway? That's where the 49ers are at right now. If they were going to give up a year and a half into switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3, they would have never, ever committed to that decision. Why even bother if you were just going to give up on it before it ever really got started? Because it takes a while. You got to draft different people, build different players, develop different guys. A complete change in philosophy. So I said, look, do not change the defensive scheme from a 4-3 to a 3-4. Now, should the 49ers fire their defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh? That's a different narrative entirely. Look, I understand. The 49ers lost to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, maybe the most talented quarterback in the entire NFL right now, maybe ever. Plus, the 49ers started a backup quarterback. That's not a loss you should feel too bad about. I'm not losing sleep over losing to Aaron Rodgers. But some really bad defensive plays at the end significantly cost the 49ers. Reuben Foster got caught multiple times in matchups with wide receivers, mismatches that hurt the 49ers. The Packers got big plays downfield because of it. That's on the coaching and that's on the scheme. Or there was a penalty on 3rd down that extended the drive late in the game. On the final drive, no timeouts left. The Packers got the ball on their own 10-yard line. No timeouts. Drove all the way down the field, kicked the game-winning field goal. Bang, bang, bang. Field goal, game over. And again, I repeat, there were long throws allowed down the sideline by the 49ers defense where they allowed the Packers not only to catch the ball, but then to get out of bounds. You cannot allow that. That's on coaching. That's on preparation. I don't know if I blame Richard Sherman or what to do, but you can't do that. You got to know, if you're a player for the 49ers with less than a minute left, tackle the Packers in bounds. Do not allow any catches down along the sideline. It's like the number 1 rule in a 2-minute drill. You don't allow catches on the sideline. 3 plays in a row, the 49ers allowed to catch along the sideline. That's unacceptable. That's bad coaching. So I would keep your eye on Robert Saleh. Because I am now, for the first time, finally paying attention to that narrative. Should the 49ers fire Robert Saleh? I don't know, but I'm highly skeptical. What I saw on Monday night was not acceptable. It was bad. You just can't do that. You can't allow 3 plays in a row where a guy catches the ball on the sideline and he gets out of bounds. The Packers drove all the way down the field with no timeouts left. It's unacceptable. Can't be allowed. And I'm highly skeptical now of Robert Saleh. My name is Zach Schaumler. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. It means a ton to me. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It's my pride and joy, my favorite thing in the entire world. If you're not aware, You can subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports on iTunes, on SoundCloud, and on YouTube. You can find the full entire hour-long podcast on YouTube, as well as shorter, interesting breakouts like the one you just watched. And if you really want to help me grow, it would mean a lot to me if you shared this with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow Strong Opinion Sports by telling your friends about this show. My name is Zach Schaumler. Thank you so much, and have a great day.